Hello, hello, hello. Welcome one and all to Drawing Expressions, live streaming here on YouTube. I'm Parz and here to lead you through a bit of creative writing today. So how you doing? I'm doing well, thanks for asking. A little bit rainy outside, so yeah, we'll take it. Change of the seasons is a coming. Yeah. So let us know that you're out there. Thank you for the nice shirt comment. And hey, Celeste, how you doing? Just lost my train of thought. Okay, here we go. My nice shirt comment apparently just threw me off track. Yeah, I went with the gray last week, and apparently that was a sign that I was a little bit of a low energy guy, but feeling better having it back on again. The nicer shirts. So yeah, so let's just kind of dive in. So before I do that, let us know that you're out there. Say hi in the chat. Alicia is monitoring. And this is live, and my cats haven't quite settled down yet. They're still rocketing around, so I'm hoping we're not going to have any impromptu cat crashes into the computer, as alliterative as that would be. Yeah, let's just go for not. All right, let's just kind of move right into the things to know. And the one thing that I always impress on every single live stream is that guidelines bend, rules break. So anything that I say, it's all a guideline. Anything I don't say, that's also a guideline. So yeah. Take them on, ship them off, use them, don't use them. It's all good. Things bend. And the class structure, we do have the two types of writers, the planners and the pantsers. Today's planner section is a seed word germination. So if you are new to the live streams, that just simply means we're going to be taking a single word, generating a list of words, finding some prompts in it, and then using that to build a story. So basically, just kind of building story out of whole cloth. Really, it can go anywhere, it can do anything, and we can explore and do stuff on the way. So I'm hoping it's going to be a fun time. For the pantser section, we're going to talk about the benefits of being a storyteller. So that should be kind of cool. Okay, now, all that said, let's get our minds and our bodies ready to do some writing, some creating. And we're going to do that by doing a bit of breathing and a bit of stretching. Okay, let me invite you to take a nice deep breath in with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Deep breath in. And stretch. And don't overstretch, because we don't want to hurt ourselves. And release. Good. Okay. I feel ready. I hope you do too. All right, so let us talk about seed word germination. So just in case you need a reminder, it has been a while since we've done this. There are videos, or at least a video, where I specifically talk about seed word germination. They're from a long while back. I think they're in the video section, not the live stream section. Yeah, I don't remember the last time we've done one. So we're just going to talk about it again. So basically, we start with a seed word, a single word, and we can just pick it from any word out there. And then we just derive a list of words, each one relating to the one above. Okay, it's very, very loosey-goosey, not a lot of structure to it. And the whole idea is just to generate a list of words. So I'm just going to pull up my screen real quick, just to show real quick. So if I was to pick the word I, which is always a legitimate word, right? So there's my seed word. the word that follows. It could be me, because it's the synonym. It could be I, the visual organ, because it sounds the same, the homonym. I think it's the start of a saying. The capital, that's capital I, so it's a capital. So we're describing the word. Icon is the first letter, and big is inside, and then zebra or zebra is totally unrelated, and that is also a completely legitimate word to use in our list. And so that way you can never paint yourself into a corner where you feel like, what am I supposed to do with the word orangutan? Well, you know, just change it up. If you get stuck, just move on. Okay. That said, let us start. Let me get up a working page set up here. And let us get working and a typing. So I'm gonna just come over to sharing my screen. So actually here, before I do that, bring it back real quick. So last live stream, I introduced this whole idea of like off ramps. So if you're the kind of person who really, you're just setting yourself up for an art date and this is just a convenient time for you, go ahead, mute me down. We're gonna just like parallel play, right? Parallel create. You're gonna do your thing, I'm gonna do my thing, and we're never gonna interact. That's perfectly fine, dandy, and okay. If you wanna go down the road with me a little bit, you can follow along with doing the seed word, and you can use your own word, you can use mine. That's all perfectly okay, right? This is all guidelines, and this is all part and parcel of where do you exit off. Okay, so you can follow along with me or not. And then once we've got our list of words, I'll be grabbing 3. So you can use my 3, you can use your own 3, or you can use something totally different. And you can follow me along all the way through, taking the 3 words, watch how they interact, and then writing on a story. Or you can do your own story based on my 3 words or your 3 words, what have you, right? You see where I'm going with here? It's loosey-goosey. It's all guidelines. It's all going to be fine. Okay. Now let us come back to my screen. Hello. There we go. I'm going to go to share my screen. Excellent. Okay. Get myself situated. All right. Make sure I can see okay. 1 second. Okay, there we go. I am going to start with the word story, because that's what we're going to be talking about in the pantser section. So why not include it here in the planner section? Story, okay? And a story, another word for story, is tale. And the homonym of that kind of tale is that tale, an animal tale. And I've got cats rocketing around. Cats have tails, so cat. And in their rocketing around, they are a bit of a menace. Yeah. Menace. Yeah, okay, good, I spelled it right. Menace. And menace, well, there was a comic character, Dennis the Menace. I don't know if he's still being written or not, but I'll just go with Dennis. And tennis rhymes with Dennis. And there's a net in tennis. You can use a net to catch fish. Fish. There was a band called Fish. I don't know if they spelled their name F-I-S-H or if it was a different spelling. I don't remember. But we're going to just go with it. It was a band. And bands, rubber bands. Rubber comes from trees. In fact, we grow rubber trees here in Thailand. So tree. And free rhymes with tree. I feel pretty good about that list. Yeah, so that's my list. How did your list come along? Yeah, did you do your own list? Are you using my list? I'm going to leave that up for just a second. If you are interested in my list, go ahead, grab a screenshot or a copy in some way, shape, or form. Okay, awesome. I'm going to give myself a bit of space. There we go. And I am going to grab, I'm going to grab 3 words. I'm going to scroll back. And I'm going to read from the bottom, just because. What 3 words kind of jump out at me? I like, I'm just going to pop them right here. Free, and I like fish, and I like cat. Free, fish, and cat. So that's going to be my prompts. So I'm going to give you just a second. Grab your 3 words, either from my list or from your list, if you're even participating. And yeah, we'll just start giving some thought to how these 3 words interact with each other. And while we're doing that, I'm just going to push this down into my next page. So I've got plenty of space to work. I'm just going to scroll. Here we go. Okay. Excellent. Free, fish, and cat. Okay. Sip of coffee and then start thinking out loud, for me anyway. So what can we do with free, fish, and cat? Well, one way we could look at it, we could sort of run straight at the prompt, right? We could say, even just reading it straight across, free, fish, cat. I mean, what cat does not like free fish? My cats, but that's a separate topic. So we could do free, fish, and cat, sort of like even like what was the movie? The Lady and the Tramp. Lady and the Tramp, right? It's the free meatballs and the little kissy that happens when they're eating the pasta. So we could do that. I tend to like things that don't run straight at the prompts, though. Something that leaps out instantly is something that I kind of like to not use. And the reason I like to do that is it gives me an opportunity to use words in new ways, maybe ways that I wouldn't ordinarily use a word, and explore different ways that we can put things together, right? Sort of expand our creative toolbox, if you want to look at it that way. So we can maybe view things in a different way. So free doesn't necessarily have to mean like 100% economic discount. Free could mean liberate. So what happens if we liberate fish? What if we have a cat, and cats are mischievous, cats, you know, they're curious, cats, they get into all sorts of trouble, they're a menace, right? Remember from our list? From my list anyway. And that sort of provides an opportunity for a few things. And I'm going to start making a couple of notes here. So I'm not going to get into the story writing just yet. I'm just sort of exploring some of these words, and I'm going to scroll up and give myself some space. So the cat, oops, I'm going to put that down a couple of lines. The cat. So let's have the cat be a bit of a menace, okay? A bit of a troublemaker. A bit of a troublemaker. Troublemaker. This in mythology is generally known as the Joker, right? Loki is a classic Joker, causes all sorts of trouble, makes changes on things that people really would rather he hadn't. And in my prior work, or even I guess I could say my current work, I have a cat named Mr. Tibbles. He's in a half-finished novel. It's been half-finished forever and a day. But I'm gonna just throw that in there, Mr. Tibbles. Yeah, he's not Tangles, Tibbles. Darn you, spell check. Okay, you're gonna let it go this time. Yeah, so bit of a troublemaker, Mr. Tibbles, and that is Mr. Tibbles to a T. Okay, so we're gonna have free, which is liberate, and we have fish. We're going to liberate fish, and fish, if they're going to be liberated, sometimes it would be like in a lab, right? Where do animals in general get liberated from? A lab or a zoo. And so we could have maybe like a fish zoo, an aquarium, right? So free from an aquarium. And we're not going to name a specific aquarium. We'll just have an aquarium, right? We'll just kind of keep it general. Anything else that we want to put into here? So how would a cat liberate fish from an aquarium? Well, it might require some extraordinarily bad decisions on the part of the person who designed the aquarium. And this is where we come into a series of books that Alicia and I really enjoy. It's Terry Pratchett's Discworld. And there is a character. We never meet the character, but we certainly meet some of the things he has built. We have Bloody Stupid Johnson. And Bloody Stupid Johnson, he just makes the worst contraptions. I mean, sometimes it's just unusual, like they've got a pipe organ with a bazillion different sounds, most of which are not musical, all the way up to things that are just way, way too big for its purpose or way, way too small, all these different things. Anyways, it's, yeah, Bloody Stupid Johnson. The other character that is sort of fits the bill in the Discworld series is Leonard of Quirm. And he's sort of a Leonardo character. He builds things because he can, because he dreams, because he does things. Doesn't typically think in terms of practicality. He just builds it because it's cool. So we've got some ideas along that route. Okay. So we've got some things we can include. What else? How about if we have a setting at the aquarium, right? So we have to be at the aquarium in order to set stuff up, and we're going to have a cat wandering around and ends up freeing fish. And I think maybe with that, let's just kind of see where it goes. Oh, one other idea that sort of sets ourselves up, right? Because we have to wonder, how does the cat free the fish? And maybe there's like a control panel. How does the cat get to the control panel? Why would there be a control panel with, say, like a big red button? That would be the, evacuate the aquarium of all water and fish, because it was built by Bloody Stupid Johnson. So we have to have some way of the cat effecting this liberate. So we're going to be able to use something called dramatic, thank you, irony. Now, dramatic irony is when the reader knows more about what's going on than the characters that are involved. And it's a way to, you can use it to build tension, you can use it as a storytelling device to help get readers involved in something. So if you had, for instance, a character, Bobby, he's walking down the street late at night. Bobby is just sort of, maybe he's drunk. So he's walking down the street. It's dark. There's, it's dark. So we can start to build tension, and we can write that there's a mugger around the corner. Now, Bobby doesn't know that there's a mugger around the corner, but the reader now knows, because we as the writer have just told our readers that it's there. Okay, so we can maybe use some dramatic irony to heighten the sensation of tension and whatnot, and get the reader feeling some stuff. And so I think with that, I'm ready to actually start typing this story out. We've got some ideas we can work with what's going on. So I'm going to just page down again. And there we go. Here we go. Okay, and let's see now here. Okay. Let us first off introduce Mr. Tibbles walking around. And so how do we want to do this? Do we want to do it in first person? Do we want to do it in third person? So we can have like, I'm walking around, this showcase of fish. Or we can have like the camera follow Mr. Tibbles, and that would be more of a third person thing. So I'm going to maybe just start off this way. Nightly prowls, right? So we are already nightly prowls. So we're letting the reader know that something other than human is walking around somewhere. Nightly prowls usually brought the same sounds, the same smells, the same the same tastes. The same and the same closed door. So how about we do something like that? So we've set things up. Cat is prowling every night. We don't know it's a cat yet because we haven't identified it. But we do know we know as the writer, we're going to talk about a cat. The reader doesn't know yet. We haven't told them. And the same, okay, so we have this maneuver, meandering around, prowling every night, and there's this closed door. But tonight, set up the unusual case where we're going to be in tonight. But tonight, the door was open. An invitation like that was not to be ignored. Mr. Tibbles cautiously entered. Okay, so I've made the choice. We're going to be in third person, and we're sort of semi in Mr. Tibbles's head, right? So we know about that the cat views the door being open as an invitation, but we're also going to be watching as he cautiously enters, right? So we haven't really established fully what kind of third person we're in, but we do know we're in third person, right? We could be in limited, which means we know what Mr. Tibbles knows, or we could be in universal, where we know everything Mr. Tibbles doesn't necessarily. Okay. Mr. Tibbles cautiously. The air was similar. There we go. To that of outside. What with all the open water and the smells of swimming fish, both large and small. Now we can know, for instance, that whales are not fish, but the cat doesn't know, the cat doesn't care. It's all like, if it's in the water, it's a fish. Okay. The smells of swimming fish, both large and small. It was, okay, so maybe, I think at this point, maybe we can sort of start to open up our view a little bit, right? So we're doing a little bit of compare and contrast. We're inside a control room type of thing, machine room kind of thing. And if you've ever toured an aquarium and gotten to be behind the scenes where there's these open tanks and a lot of fish waste being processed and whatnot, the smell is actually quite intense. It's not like what you get on the floor of the aquarium where you're observing. It's way stronger. Okay, so now we can sort of have the cat compare the fact that it's a stronger smell, and there's all these different sounds, a lot more machine sounds and whatnot inside this building. So we're going to have the cat sort of reflect back on what the outside is like compared to the inside. So it was always interesting to watch them through the big panels of glass. Whoops. Let's get rid of that. The big panels of glass. Stretched. Yeah, while stretching out on the concrete floor. So we can help to identify more that this is indeed an aquarium. Right, we're going to make references to things that are in the things that are in the aquarium, so a concrete floor or a thinly carpeted floor. Big panels of glass, so you can see, you know, the bigger fish and the displays and things. In here, though, machine noises, intense smells, dim lights. Oops. Dim lights. Oh, keep hitting the equal sign. Dim. There we go. Dim lights. And surprise, surprise, another open door. Another open door. So this will be the door to the control room. Walking through the cat. So now we can identify Mr. Tibbles as a cat. The cat saw a single swivel chair. In front of a panel of lights, switches, and knobs. Okay, so we've got that, and maybe let's just, and on the side of the panel was a big red glowing switch under a protective clear plastic cover. And seeing that, the kitten in Mr. Tibbles came out and decided to scroll, play with the switch. And here, let's just list out some ways. So, scratching at the cover, flying at the hinge, getting a paw under the plastic, and playing with the glowing red. Actually, it's big red glowing switch. Actually, I'm going to have a big button. Let's just change that to button. There we go. Playing with the glowing red button. It seemed to be ready. Let's see here. The big red button. Actually, let's just leave it there. Playing with the glowing red button. That seems like we've got sort of ominousness enough. Okay. And so let's just leave the cat there. Okay, so why are these doors open? Where's the person who's supposed to be in the control room who's manning the whole thing? Well, they're not there. Where did they go? Bathroom break, maybe? Getting a snack? Yeah, so maybe let's do something like that. So there we go. If only the aquariums owners would install a soda machine closer to the control room. Here, control room. I wouldn't have to walk halfway across the park to get some refreshment. The good part of making the 15-minute jaunt was that it afforded an opportunity to keep the doors open and allow some fresh air in. It had gotten particularly rank today. And since it's at night, right? So, and since there's no one in the park now, neither the normal crowds nor his bosses, nor my bosses, right? Because I'm in first person right now, aren't I? I wouldn't have to walk, right? I put it into first person, so let's keep the pronouns in first person. So I, me, my, myself. Okay? Neither the normal crowds nor my boss will ever know that I left things unattended. Okay. So all I need now is some change and that Pepsi will be mine. Okay, so the Pepsi will be mine, and now let's just have an alarm go off, right? The cat's playing with the thing. He doesn't know what's going on yet. He certainly is going to find out. Here we go. And okay. And why is the water release klaxon? Klaxon is a kind of alarm. It's yeah. The water release klaxon suddenly going off. So there we go. I think that's sort of that's a nice little complete story. So let's kind of go back, review real quick. So nightly prowls usually brought, not fought, brought the same sounds, the same smells, the same tastes, and the same closed door. But tonight the door was open. An invitation like that was not to be ignored. Mr. Tibbles cautiously entered. The air was similar to that of outside, what with all the open water and the smells of swimming fish, both large and small. It was always interesting to watch them through the big panels of glass while stretching out on the concrete floor. In here, though, machine noises, intense smells, dim lights, and surprise, surprise, another open door. Walking through, the cat saw a single swivel chair in front of a panel of lights, switches, and knobs, and on the side of the panel was a big red glowing button under a protective clear plastic cover. I mean, sort of like the movie thing, right, where you've got the protective cover, like you have to flip that open in order to hit the button. And seeing that, the kitten and Mr. Tibbles came out and decided to play with the, whoops, not the switch, with the button. scratching at the cover, clawing at the hinge, getting a paw under the plastic, and playing with the glowing red button. We can clean that up in edit. And so we leave the cat playing with the control. So if only the aquarium's owners would install a soda machine closer to the control room, I wouldn't have to walk halfway across the park to get some refreshment. The good part of making the 15-minute jaunt was that it afforded an opportunity to keep the doors open and allow some fresh air in. It had gotten particularly rank today. And since there's no one in the park now, neither the normal crowds nor my boss will ever know that I left things unattended. So all I need now is some change, and that Pepsi will be mine, or Coke, if that is your preference. Here we go. And why is the water release klaxon suddenly going off? So there we go. I think we have achieved. So I'm going to scroll back to what we were looking to do. So we included, so we have the free, the fish, and the cat. Now, the word free, I don't think ever appeared in the story, and that's fine and okay, because we've alluded to it. And we've also alluded to the fact that the cat is not deliberately doing it, right? So it's sort of an incidental freeing. But we do have the cat being a troublemaker. We do have a really bad design of a control panel where a cat can get in and doing that. We're at the aquarium, and we have dramatic irony because the operator did not know anything about what was going on until the klaxon goes off. We knew something bad was going to happen because of the first part. Right, okay, so perfect. I'm just going to come back here. So how did your story go? I'd like to know. So I'm going to breathe and stretch, and you can join me, or you can chat, or you can do both. You know, just kind of do that stuff here. Let's just kind of come over into my breathe and stretch. So invite you to take a nice deep breath in. And stretch. Okay. That feels good. Right. So let's come back to the room. So yeah, please do let me know how things went, if that went well or whatever. And if you do share it on social media, I'll be giving hashtags and whatnot if you don't already know them. So let me move on to our pantser time. This comes from, it's phys.org, so P-H-Y-S. Here, I'm going to share the screen real quick. So there we go. There is the URL and the front part of the story that I'm grabbing. So it's seeing the big picture. Researchers find storytelling could be key to meaningful life. So what is it going on to say? Well, when we have someone who tells stories, right? And this is going to be someone who can tell a story well. The idea behind this research and these findings is that if you are a storyteller, you are generally better able to see the big picture on things. You're better able to express how you're feeling. You're better able to incorporate your skill set into your life. Let me just kind of scroll through here, see if there's a... So what the writer said is, a study reveals a direct link between storytelling ability and a sense of meaning and quality of life. It found that people who are good at storytellers enjoy more fulfilling lives, a clearer sense of purpose, and the ability to see the big picture. And it went on to say that people who are good at storytelling, they feel a profound sense of meaning, possess a clear and lucid understanding of their life's direction, and are better able to see the big picture. I mean, we've said that a few times already. This is the case even after accounting for different things like, are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? different learning styles and things like that. So that storytelling turns out to be not just a personal asset, but also a valuable tool, both in your personal life and in your professional life, if you are of working age and are working. And it goes on to say that this is particularly helpful for introverts, because with being an introvert, introvert, that we are able to better incorporate our thoughts and our feelings and whatnot if we are able to tell the story, right? We don't just have to come out and like blurt stuff out. It's like it's something you have to kind of like learn how to do, right? In order to, I'm going to express my story, my idea. And yeah. And then it goes on to talk about how in a world that is increasingly filled with AI, having unique perspectives, having the unique human perspective, and the unique to you perspective, because each human is different, right? Having those unique perspectives become more and more important in this world that is increasingly filled with AI, which can sort of, more, it's more vanilla, right? It smooths everything out. It makes everything more palatable. But it's also the same stuff regurgitated over and over and over again. So yeah, so that is talking about storytelling. Now, the thing that does not get referred to in the article, something that I think is really important to know, is that storytelling can be taught and it can be improved upon. Participating in this live stream is one way of learning how to better tell your story, how to tell stories in general. What's important in a story? What do I want to highlight? What do I want to reveal, or not reveal? What do I want to, what do I want the person I'm telling the story to feel? Right? These are all questions that storyteller gets to decide. And it doesn't have to be stories just with words, right? Which is what I'm doing. That's how I operate in my storytelling, but storytellers can also operate in pictures, in comics, right? So you're combining the two. So in just various odd ways that you can relay not just what do I see or what do I observe, but it's what is it that I want you to feel? What is it that I want to convey? What's this unique thing I want you to get out of what I am sharing? That is the essence, right, of storytelling. And it doesn't matter the modality. If you learn how to do it better, in the end, you may find that you are living a more fulfilled life. And I think that's kind of cool. So yeah, that is that's the Pantser section for the day. And with that, I think we get another little sip of coffee. Okay, so kind of starting to close things up for today. So today, first off, we did do the seed word germination, and I do hope that you'll practice it. You can. It's a technique that just keeps can generate story after story after story after story. I wrote a daily story for over 3 years using this particular method, and it's great. Yeah. And I use it now, especially when I find that I don't have an idea to write to. I can just put down the words and boom, off we go. So that was the planner, and then the Pantser is the importance of storytelling and how great it is to be able to tell stories. All right. With that, let's move on to the drawingXpressions haiku. It's a creative space, holistically supportive. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please do. If you haven't already, please do. If you do share your stuff online, please hit it with the hashtag DXLiveWithParz. Yeah, I do look Instagram, and Facebook. And let's see now here. Is there anything else? No, that's pretty much it. We do have a link tree, so if you do want to reach out to us or interact with us in some odd way, go through Linktree. You'll find us all again. Thank you. Good night, Celeste, from your part of the world. Yes. And with that, just going to come back one last time. Thank you for being a part of today. Thank you for becoming a better storyteller. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.